You're watching Positive Progression. I'm Chris Johnson, your host, and just sitting here chatting with a longtime friend and colleague from many years, young years ago. I told him he still looks like the same person we knew back in the day, in the late '90s, early 2000s. National recording star, well, international recording star, singer, songwriter, Mr. Jon B, right here on Positive Progression. How we doing, sir?
Peace, Chris. Good to be with you, bros. Thanks for
Same
having
here.
me.
Thanks so much. John, so much to talk about. I know, of course, time is always the essence, when it comes to these great interviews, man. But you're still doing your thing. If we could just briefly take all the fans back to your, career began in the early 90s. We had the release of Bonafide.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
no, yeah, can you share?
95. Yeah,
That's right. That's
yeah,
right.
yeah.
Just share, what inspired you to pursue just a musical career
Mm.
itself and how you broke into the industry, man.
Well, the music of the times growing up really was my inspiration. I was just listening to everything under the sun and just being so inspired by it. So whether I was making music on, beating on a table, in its most primitive form, to taking it to my first little keyboard, and then finding more interest. And so, how do I record it and expand? So I had to get a 4-track recorder, and then just keep expanding through the years. And I really took it seriously at a young age. So by the time I was 14, 15, I was pretty much making my own demos at home. And this is also before we had laptops and all that, y'all. So, it's a different
Yeah.
time, a little bit more, took a lot more, in terms of just getting things going and making it sound good. Let alone by 16, I was shopping my demo around, and yeah, so it just all was progression, you know,
Yeah. It's all a positive progression. That's what it's all
all
about.
positive progression. Yeah.
Know it. You know it. You've cited, of course, so many artists that you've worked with, major influences like Babyface.
Mhm.
Is there any, at this point in your career, I should say, any dream collaborations you've yet to make happen?
I'd love to work with just about everybody under the sun, really. But I think there's some guys that specifically are such influences for me musically, both instrumentally, production wise, and vocally. Like a guy like D'Angelo is such a
Yes.
hidden gem for me. Like it's but such a huge influence for me. It always has been. So yeah, we would be a dope collaboration, I think. And
I can.
also working with the likes of like a guy like the voice of like Maxwell. Maxwell's back. I recently made his acquaintance, and he's such a great guy, such a humble spirit, and still got it, man. His show was amazing, and the new music that he's putting out is really great as well. So it's inspiring to see guys from my era, just still caring about what they do and loving their art and just allowing it to happen. And same way we did when we first started. The same swagger, just a little bit more refined now. I think
That's
it's
right.
just a little bit more. We're just a little bit more precise now with what we want to do. So
That's
yeah,
right.
yeah,
A little bit more seasoned, and
yeah, a
that's
little
what
bit
it's.
more seasoned, man. That's it. That's it. I'm for sure, for sure. Mhm.
Yeah, Jon B right here on Positive Progression. John has been doing this thing for many years and definitely a true definition of real music
Thank
and
you,
real
sir.
style. Yeah, that transcends actually to those all over the country and all over the world. So you've kept it mainstream, very much so, which is great, and it blends music that everyone can enjoy and love. So many beautiful ballads. We didn't even talk about. Well, we'll talk about it.
Thank you, man.
Is itself, but we want everyone right now to get addicted to this natural drug.
That's
Uh,
right. That's what we want. That's what we want. Just let that music be the natural drug, because that's what it is.
right.
Music really is the natural drug. But I
Hmm.
think that if you take it to where the music is inspired from, and you go back to the essence of where the music is sort of born from, the want to do it. It all comes from the feminine, divine, man. Following the woman, and being able to be so inspired by by our women, you know, and they are such natural drugs. So it's sort of, I don't know why it's just so natural for me to speak about that at this age, especially. I think that I'm so appreciative. I've been married to my wife 17 years. So it's, you know, going on 18 years now. So it's and we have two beautiful children and everything, a beautiful life. So I think that I'm inspired to really just really express what it is to have that, what kind of, you know, inspiration that brings. And my way of doing that is songwriting and making, you know, making music happen. So I did all the music, I did all the production for this track as well. So it's embedded in the track too as well, the feeling. So
Yeah.
you know, yeah, it's, I think that there's no greater aphrodisiac drug, whatever you want to call it, than a good woman, you know, straight up. And I'm
I,
living that. I'm living that right now. That's facts. So
nothing
yeah,
like the world, is it? You know, kind of keeps you at peace.
it
Um,
really does. It really does. And I think that for me, you know, it's it's one thing to try to keep up with the Joneses, you know, and sort of like try to do something that is very current sounding in terms of like the tracks, you know, the sound selection or the tempo or whatever have you. But I wanted to do something that was like a very signatory type of track, you know, something that really spoke about who I am and my personality and how I flow, you know, which really kind of can correlate with what's going on in a natural way, or it could not, and just kind of be in its own little lane. So I really didn't know what to expect with this one. I just kind of put it out there, and I felt like my diehard fans, the people who've been keeping up with me all these years, they'll get it. You know what I mean? So that's where I'm at.
about it. And John, you know, natural drug, beautiful, beautiful visual, man. I see.
Oh, thank you so much, man. Well, it
Yeah.
was
Y'all hook up.
yeah, I mean, we got blessed, man, to have Cynthia Bailey come through and bless us with her presence and her, you know, just her beauty. You know, it really is it speaks of the song speaks specifically of a natural beauty like her, you know, and I mean, she is the antithesis of that. So I mean, it's having her come and just, you know, grace us with her presence like that. It was lovely to see her on the different gowns and the different, you know, ideas that we had. We sort of just came up with the ideas in the spot on the spot because we really just had a concept that we knew we wanted to do it in the, you know, amongst the trees and sort of forest
Okay.
type background. But
Where was this?
I had this idea for just taking a door and just making a door appear in different, you know, landscapes. And so I'm walking out of the door or walking into the door. And yeah, that being sort of like a dreamscape scenario. But we were, because like I said, we really had no concept. It was just, let's just go shoot, you know. And sometimes that's the way the best
That's the
videos
best way.
happen, you know.
Yeah, right off the cuff. Where was it shot at?
It was shot in Malibu in the beginning, and then we shot in I believe the hills, Beverly Hills, in a mansion that we rented, and it was just the whole look of it is very very for me it's very elegant and luxurious looking. So that's what I felt like was where we kind of like we kind of pressed that we put our foot a little bit to the gas on this one. You know what I mean? And I think now it's really I'm really trying to put the pressure on, you know, the idea of really continuing to grow both as my, you know, as I, you know, develop my whole, you know, style and just I see what works for me. All the different sunglasses for me is fun right now. Getting and you know get into these elderly. I just turned 50, so and I'm gonna say my age because I'm proud of being 50. You know, but I think
Right.
that you know growing older now is a growing older with grace kind of deal for me. It's like what you know what I keep for myself is sort of it means a lot now because I've been so open all these years. You know, you've seen my eyes for 30 years. You've seen my eyes. You know, I've been looking straight into the camera in every video and all that. So now when I wear my sunglasses, it's like I'm keeping a little bit of my privacy now and a little bit of something of myself, you know, so the artistry can happen. I can kind of stay in my bag and, you know, and I feel like it's a kind of a way of growing older with grace now, you know, with these sunglasses. So if anybody ever asks me, why you wear the sunglasses? You know, how many, you know, how many sunglasses do you think I have? That's what the question you should ask. I've, I've, I've managed to collect quite a collection now. So, but I think it's also a great way of kind of putting a different character on every time and making it interesting for myself, because I've never taken myself too seriously as an artist. I'm a producer, I'm a songwriter. There's a lot of facets to what I'm a musician, instrumentalist. So it's a lot that I put into this music. I also want to address the music, visually in a certain way too as well. So hence the reason why we did this video and why you see the garb that you see and her beautiful gowns, Cynthia's beautiful gowns. Yeah, it's all a part of the art, as they say, artistic expression.
Jon B right here on Positive Progression. Natural Drug is the name of the single. All right, we want to make sure everyone goes out there and check this out. Jon B, make sure you give all your URLs and your social media as well. So,
for sure, I'm official Jon B on all social media platforms, and just get at me. Let me know how you feel about this new single, and loving the response we're getting so far is really positive. So, I'm seeing the.
I love that, man, all the way around.
Thank you.
I love the treatment of it. Treatments is my thing.
Yeah, it's something to continue to do. Thank you so much. It's something to continue to really take pride in. Making this art, making this music, but not only just the music, but also the videos. And putting together the shows as well. I have a tour coming up. Okay. You can expect a spring album release. So we've got some features to look forward to hearing on the album as well. I've got Donell Jones. We did the song "Understand" together. Of course, the first single that came out from the album was "Waiting on You" featuring Tank. So that was we got a #2 record with that in R&B. So I was really excited to first to just work with him again and collaborate in the studio. But I kind of had the song already done, and then I played it for him, and I said, "What do you think?" He's like, "I want to be on that, man." He came to the studio. He's like, "I don't want to change anything, man. I just add a bridge to it." And he added the bridge, and then he was playing piano in the hallway, and to the song, I said, "That's gotta go on the record." So he played some piano on the song, and started to just really help, just kind of put the shine on the record, and that's what he did, man. And came to the video shoot, blessed us with the video, with his presence at the video. So it was real. I felt very, very proud to be not only his friend, but just in R&B, from that experience. It's getting to rub shoulders with the guys like Tank. It's like, he's as thorough as it gets. So being that good people and an incredibly talented brother, man. So when anytime we can kind of iron sharpen iron kind of situation, it's just I love what we get out of that. So yeah, "Waiting on You" is definitely a classic record that I'm just I feel so blessed to have worked, got the opportunity to work with Tank straight up.
Jon, just thinking about that, looking back on your career, which album or, song holds the most significance to you? So many great hits, and like I said, I could just round them off, all these hits, "Someone to Love,"
Oh, you don't have to go there. You don't have to go.
Let's take them all back. Let's go back to "They Don't Know," still getting radio play and visual play, okay, and "Don't Talk." All of these hits, man, So all of them, of course, tell their own message in its own way. But which album or song holds the most significance to you feel?
I think for me, "They Don't Know" is kind of like the signature track for my life. If there's any song that sort of says it all, in terms of what I really am, what I kind of like my plight is about, it's if I ever listened to anything that anybody had to say, I wouldn't have made it this far. You know what I'm saying? So it's more about if you're a type of person who goes against the grain or isn't necessarily the one who fits in, you may be the black sheep of the family, whatever, expression you want to use to express yourself, and your plight. I feel that, that's the thing, is just to be able to know where you stand with everything and how you want to express yourself. So that's what I've always been about, is just really not listening to what people say, having my own sort of like real destiny and future in mind, keeping that in mind, the future, not just thinking about right now, but also thinking about the future. So that's the main thing, is trying to be an innovator, trying to think ahead, at the same time, pay attention to the things that came before me and pay homage to those things, really hold them tightly, because even if you try to emulate it, you're not going to be exactly like it. You're going to find your own style through emulating people and finding, so, and that's what I think happened with the record, They Don't Know. For me, I found myself in that record. That was the first record I felt like was a stamp I can put of myself, my identity, and be like, nah, yeah, that's him. You know what I mean? So yeah, They Don't
John,
Know.
we gotta take it back. We gotta at least show them this video from the past, man. We
Okay.
just got just a little taste in the past for all the youngins out there. Okay, so they know about from Jon B himself. Go ahead on and give us an intro into this wonderful ballad. Okay, that we still hear today. It's timeless. Your music is timeless, man. Go ahead on and give
Thank
us
you. Thank you so much.
give us an
Well, I
intro.
will tell you, man, I'm grateful for this one. So, this is my song that speaks about hearsay, that speaks about intimacy, keeping it between you and I. Don't listen to what people say. They don't know about you and me, and they don't know, most importantly, about this here. You understand? The heart, what's going on inside you. So they don't know. It's my video. Classic throwback. Let's go. Positive progressions.
Nice. All right. Okay. All right. When we come back off of that, boy, that was a classic. Oh, all these good classics.
Thank you, man.
Jon B right here on Positive Progression. So glad to have you, man, on the show.
Glad to be
You and
here,
I
brother.
all day. I appreciate your time. And, if I go back to that vintage footage, oh, man. Oh, remember
I'm
on that
sure
tour?
you got some stuff.
Yeah, the studio right in the bus,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
John had the right kind
That
of
was a
tour
that
bus.
was a classic moment right there for me, man. I remember having that right at the I think the right at the height of it was either Don't Talk or it was They Don't Know. I think it might have been the
I
Cool
think
Relax album.
exactly it was.
It
Yeah,
was
yeah,
the
yeah.
Cool Relax. It was like 97, 98, maybe
Yep.
90,
Did the interview
somewhere
right.
around there.
Yeah, Reggie and all
Yeah,
of them.
I remember the first place I saw the studio on the back of the bus was I was in Chicago playing at the House of Blues in Chicago. And is that where we had our interview? Or I don't know where we had our interview,
No,
but
we did
exactly.
the interview. It may have been in it may have been either. I think it was Atlanta actually.
It was in Atlanta. Okay, there it is.
Yeah,
Yeah, we had the bus laced up with the studio where the master bedroom was. I had them take the big bed that was out of there, and I just replaced it with like one of those foldable hide beds. And I turned my into a like when you put the bed away, I had all the keyboards and the drum machines and my all my
nice,
hard disk recorders back then all
nice.
ready for recording. So take the mics out and just record. The only problem was is in the background of the recordings, you could all hear the engine go. Woo. A lot of it was like we had to redo a lot of that stuff, man.
There's a good back in the day story.
Right,
No doubt.
right.
Fun, man. Just a lot of fun too.
Absolutely, man. Classic
Nothing.
times.
Yes, it is.
I learned a
Naturally,
lot.
what it's all about. Jon B,
Yeah.
singer, songwriter, international recording star. Jon B himself, right here on Positive Progression. Continued success to you, my brother, and
Thank you, Chris.
to all those who may want to go into the industry or whatever their aspirations may be.
Oh man, just be your greatest ally. Be your greatest ally. Don't be the one who's looks in the mirror and picks yourself apart and tries to overanalyze. If you don't, you got to make mistakes in order to learn stuff. So consider all these L's we take along the way as stepping stones for better versions of ourselves. You know what I mean? So we gotta take them. And we all take lumps on the head, take bumps and scratches or whatever. But as long as it's not gonna kill you, I guarantee it's going to make you stronger. So just be your greatest ally. That's my greatest advice. You know, don't look to find that ally in someone else or try to put, you know, wait for someone else's belief in you, because you got to believe in you before anybody else can. I'm telling you right now. And when you do, that's when things happen. You know, that's when it happens.
Right. You heard it from the man himself, Mr. Jon B. And Jon, again, you're going on tour, so we want to look out for that.
Absolutely going on tour. Album is coming out in the spring.
Okay.
The tour is happening. All of my info, I want people to go and check out official Jon B on Instagram and all, you know, all social media networks. But you know, check out the new song Natural Drug. Check out the new video. Check out the Waiting on You featuring Tank. The album is going to feature Rick Ross. It's going to feature Alex Isley as well.
Uh-oh.
I mean,
You
Donell
got
Jones, Tank. You know, we
all.
got 4 features on here that are classic features.
Yeah.
So I'm just really looking forward to everybody hearing this new material, man. Seeing
Well,
you in a city near you, hopefully. All right.
Jon, we'll be talking real soon. All right. And thanks so much for your time.
Chris,
Continue.
thank you.
All right
Thank you so
now.
much, my bro.